My wife called me from inside the women's bathroom, crying, and all I could hear in the background was someone pounding on the stall door, screaming, "Let me in!" That was the moment I realized the creepy guy from earlier hadn't followed us by accident. He'd been hunting my wife the entire night. This happened about 2 years ago. My wife and I went to the mall to celebrate our upcoming 3-year anniversary. Nothing special, just shopping, dinner, normal couple stuff. At least, that's what it was supposed to be. While we were walking through the mall, my wife found this dress store she wanted to check out. I told her I'd wait outside, scrolling on my phone while she looked around. About 10 minutes later, she called me. Her voice sounded shaky, panicked. She whispered, "There's a weird guy in here, following me." Immediately, I stood up. She told me there was a man dressed like a woman, wearing a blonde wig and women's boots. At first, she thought it was just another customer, but then she noticed he kept appearing behind her in every section of the store. And the worst part? He caught him smelling women's clothes, literally pressing dresses against his face, just standing there, breathing into them. My wife said every time she moved away from him, he'd slowly follow. I rushed inside the store, but by the time I got there, he was gone, completely vanished. I called mall security anyway. They searched the area, but couldn't find anyone matching the description. One of the guards even acted like maybe my wife imagined it. But I knew she didn't. She was genuinely terrified. At that point, we should have left. But we tried convincing ourselves it was just some mentally disturbed creep and that security scared him away. So we stayed. Big mistake. We had dinner at a restaurant inside the mall around 8 p.m. My wife seemed calmer by then. We even laughed about it for a little while, trying to shake off the weirdness. Then, after dinner, she went to the bathroom. About 5 minutes later, my phone rang. I answered casually, expecting her to ask where I parked the car or something. Instead, I heard breathing, then crying. My wife whispered, "He's in here." My stomach dropped immediately. She told me she locked herself inside one of the bathroom stalls, and while sitting there, she saw the same women's boots stop directly outside her stall door, the exact same boots from the dress store. Then I heard it through the phone. Bang, bang, bang. The stall door shook violently. Then a deep male voice said, "Let me in," over and over. I ran faster than I've ever run in my life. People in the mall were staring at me while I sprinted toward the bathrooms. My wife was screaming on the phone. The banging kept getting louder. Then suddenly, the call cut out. When I reached the women's bathroom, the main door was locked from inside. I started pounding on it, screaming my wife's name. No answer. Then I heard her crying inside, and a man laughing. I completely lost it. I backed up and slammed my shoulder into the bathroom door as hard as I could. The lock snapped. Inside, the lights were flickering, and near the stalls, I saw him. Blonde wig, women's boots, tall, filthy. One side of his makeup smeared across his face. My wife was trapped inside the stall, crying hysterically, while he tried forcing the door open. The second he saw me, he smiled. Not scared, not surprised, just smiling. Then he rushed toward the exit. I grabbed him before he could escape, and we both crashed into the sinks. He fought like an animal, scratching, biting, screaming. The wig fell off during the fight. I managed to hit him hard enough to knock him unconscious against the floor. Then I called the police. Apparently, he already had a history of stalking women in malls across different states. To this day, my wife still refuses to use public bathrooms alone. And sometimes when we're shopping, she suddenly freezes if she hears boots walking behind her.